You're watching Around Town with Henry Dormann.
Around Town is sponsored by Chemung Canal Trust Company. They're really nice people. Trust is their middle name. Service is their motto. And I like them a lot, and that's why I bank there. If you ever come by to look me up, I'll be in the vault. Safe place. Have you ever heard of a haunted trail, a trail that invites you to meet ghosts and takes you there? This is Doug Sitler, and he's the fellow that runs, what's the name of it?
Haunted History Trail of New York State.
And you've got how many places in New York that are haunted?
It's a collection of 65 haunted locations throughout the state, from Buffalo all the way to the Hudson River.
Now say, where can they get more information? What's the website? And then tell me ghost stories. We are waiting to see ghosts. We're at the Naples Hotel in Naples, and they've got ghosts all over the place. And we've been in another room where the ghost turned on a flashlight, and now I'm waiting for them to tap me on the shoulder or the head or something. Take it away.
Well, I'm waiting as well, and you never know what's going to happen, especially here at the Naples Hotel. But getting back to the trail itself, people can find our information at hauntedhistorytrail.com. What's really unique is New York State is the only state in the country to have a haunted history trail. 10, 15 years ago, there was this uprising in popularity of the paranormal. There was TV shows, and still to this day, they're constantly on the airwaves. And that's been feeding the traveler's appetite to find things haunted and paranormal. Some folks are really into it and might want to go do a weekend trip here, maybe stay at the Naples Hotel with the hope of a ghost visiting them. Some folks just like to, maybe they find themselves in Rochester and want to go on a ghost tour and just hear stories and kind of take it at that level. But it is a vast collection. We have haunted inns, we have haunted restaurants, museums, lighthouses.
Do they talk to you?
The ghosts?
Yeah.
Well, the ghosts, you know, that's what's really neat is they, I haven't had too much interaction, but in all these places, they are a link to the past, and they like to be known from what I hear, you know, in all these towns. And what's neat is you hear about a ghost, and it adds to the what's going on in that town. It might have been a former resident who was very prominent, and so you start to know a little bit more about the town and its upbringings and things like that. There are several places like the Iron Island Museum in Buffalo, New York. They have Polish ghosts that talk and swear at them in Polish.
Really?
I've been there where we've heard a haunted cat out in the hallway, just like 10 feet away, and 20 people heard it. The Iron Island Museum is a collection of it's a neighborhood museum. So sometimes they say that ghosts attach themselves to things from the past. And in fact, there's rooms at the Iron Island Museum in Buffalo that the owner won't even go into, or she won't even go in their own building without someone being there because it's so frequent and so current.
But they're not dangerous.
They're not dangerous. They like to swear, though. So that's if you can go with a little bit of cussing and know it in Polish, I think you're okay. Yeah. But you know, there's just several great stories up in Boonville, New York. The Hulbert House. It goes all the way back to the early 1800s. I had a coworker stay there. Her and her cousin lasted about 45 minutes there before they left the hotel in terror, drove 90 miles to Syracuse to get into a hotel room where they were far, far away from the place. They were there hearing people walking up and down the hall, seeing things up and down the hall, and they were the only ones in the hotel at the time. So there's really frightening places like that. Up in Oswego, there's a great fort, Fort Ontario, and of course, with along that, there lots of reports of 1812 ghosts still patrolling. The fort burned down 3 times, so there's a lot of history. And if someone sees a ghost, there's usually some relevance to it, which makes it really, really kind of neat.
You must be a fascinating expert on ghosts.
You know, you become more and more, because if you like history, the ghosts are kind of like the living participants. Yeah, they kind of help tie it together. And New York State, I mean, we're just so blessed with amazing history from the beginning of our country and beyond. I mean, going back to the Native Americans.
But this is really a very clever gimmick on your part to create a trail like this and to use ghosts. Nobody's ever done that before.
No one's
using ghosts to bring history back.
Correct, Henry. No one's done that. And it has been, we've been in our 3rd year, and it has just been outrageously successful. We've given away all our visitor guides. We have 40,000 guides that we got rid of because people want more and more information. And like I said, it really is tapping into a niche traveler right now. People love this stuff, and this place is more than willing to give it to them.
Have you got any ghosts in New York City?
Well, we're currently not involved in New York City.
We could talk about some politicians who are ghosts.
Well, we do have the Capitol building in Albany is a scary place. And Henry, I'm not talking about just the day-to-day politics. It's a scary place. They have their own ghost stories. They actually have ghost tours in the Capitol building in Albany. Yeah. So this September and October, every day you can go on a ghost tour inside the Capitol, and it's a fascinating building alone, let alone the ghost stories.
It's a beautiful building.
It's beautiful. It's stunning. And
what kind of ghosts are there? Former governors come through?
There is some old politicians, and there's also some creepy design work. Architecture kind of plays into the haunted trail as well. The Capitol building is an amazing architectural building, and there's symbolism in the decorations, and there's a scary looking face that kind of scares everyone. It's very evident.
You really love what you do. You're kind of full of bubbles and everything else.
It's just so fun. You know, life is it's fun to think about the possibilities, you know, and and these seems to be connections, and I think that's just really fun to be connected and grounded and know where things are in life.
How long do the tours take? Different times, different places?
Different places. What's really neat is you can go on a place and go on a walking ghost tour of, say, Rochester or Buffalo or other places, and it might be an hour, hour and a half. There are times you can go investigate where they provide you with all the ghost gizmos, the flashlights, and they give you some ghost hunters, and you can be in a building all night long. There's several opportunities. And
probably be very excited being in a building all night long.
Well, that's the really neat.
You don't get much sleep.
Yeah, you don't get much sleep, but usually our experiences say that the ghosts keep people energized and going, and here again, people just cannot get enough of it. So,
now, do you ever communicate with ghosts who could tell you who's going to win the election?
Well, that's another scary proposition there, Henry. No, well, we do. We don't have that, but we do. They will tell us about the past, though. We can't predict the football game score or the election, but they often let us know about the past.
Now, of all of these stories that you've collected, and there must be thousands and thousands, what's your favorite? And where?
Well, there's a mysterious, this is almost not haunted, but there's a mysterious park in Watertown, New York, where they say there's a time vortex. And people walk into the park, and then an hour will go by, and they will have no recollection of where they've been, and they will end up in a different part of the park. And these stories just don't happen once, they happen often, you know? And so for that to happen, there must be something going on up there, you know? It's just so odd and peculiar.
You better believe it.
I'm not one to say no, so yeah, I mean, let's get in the car and go find out ourselves, Henry. That sounds fascinating.
Give him a call. He has this is only a small amount of the stories. You're filled with colorful things. And I wouldn't be surprised if you knew some of these ghosts personally.
Well, I'll be friends with them, sure, you know. Absolutely, absolutely.
Interesting place. Come along. You'll see some fascinating things. What's the number again?
It'll be hauntedhistorytrail.com would be the place to go.
Great. And no phone number?
No phone number. It's just easier because you go to the website, all of our locations, yeah.
Go on the website. I'm not going on the website. I'm staying here. I am having lunch today with a ghost in the dining room. Sorry, you can't see him, but I'm having lunch with him. He'll say, I'll see what he says, and I'll get back to you.
Around Town with Henry Dormann will return in a moment.
Life, it never stops moving. Getting from here to there. Managing long hours at work. Juggling a busy home. You need a bank that keeps up. That's Chemung Canal Trust Company. Bank online. Bank with our mobile app. Deposit a check with your smartphone. Open an account at Chemung Canal and bank with us anywhere, anytime. Chemung Canal Trust Company. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today. WENY News, the only local station with a full-time Washington, D.C. bureau, watching out for you.
We now return to Around Town with Henry Dormann.
Do you ever wonder how your name gets on logos of cups and everything else? Who does this? Who makes these shopping bags for Bloomingdale's? Who makes all the stuff with names on it and any name you want? Well, there is a place here. Nancy Hendrickson
Yes.
is the owner of it, and it's called what?
Image Packaging.
Image Packaging. Do you ever get a smile like that? That's enough for the Image Packaging right there. This is a wonderful place. It's in Elmira. What's the address?
231 West Water Street.
Right off the street. But they've got things here that they can make and do make for many businesses in the area. I think the best thing to do is, since I know nothing about what you do, and you know everything about what you do, we should leave everything for you.
Okay, thank you.
I'm always testing the ladies that I interview to see if they have warm hands.
I do.
You'd be surprised how many cold hands are. This is a warm hander. She's especially charming, that means. And her daughter is here too, and she's checking this out and watching that everything's going to be okay. But she's almost as beautiful as she is. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I get carried away with this.
I'm glad
Go
you
ahead.
do. Image Packaging has been in business since 1992, and my partner and I, Margaret Thoma, started our business primarily selling packaging to retailers, manufacturers, and corporations all over the world. And we have supplied such prominent names as Tommy Hilfiger, Dolce & Gabbana, Steuben Glass. And in 2006, we decided to start selling promotional items into our current account base because packaging was so driven by the Christmas business. And so we started selling promotional items into our current account base. That led us to being certified as a woman-owned business, which helped us to establish a business in promotional items in New York State because they have requirements to purchase from minorities, women's, and veterans. And after that, we started really focusing on becoming known in our community for these types of promotional items. And we've had great success with this.
And these are some of the promotional items.
Yes, so we put your logo, your name on anything from cups to mugs to bags to pens to chip clips. We have a designer on staff, Dominic Romeo. We have dedicated customer service reps, making your experience buying promotional items here locally much different than you might experience if you were just jumping on the internet and buying something, because we have a dedicated staff working for you.
Now, if people want to get more information, can they call you, email you? You have a logo or a promotion spot on the web?
Absolutely.
And you're open from when to when?
We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. You can reach us locally at 607-739-3667. Email is info@imagepackaging.com.
You've got all kinds of fascinating things here. Which is the most popular? Can we see them?
There are many items that are very popular. An item that we did that's really...
I never realized how fancy you are.
Isn't that nice?
Bottled water cups, put them in.
Yes, a koozie to keep your drink cold.
I never knew this.
This is an item that's really interesting. It's from the Civil War camp in Horseheads, and it's an actual nail from the actual Civil War camp in Horseheads that we have embedded in acrylic, and it was sold as a fundraiser so that they could raise funds to make their building.
What great ideas you come up with.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and
you never run out of things here. What goodness
so.
gracious. How many items
Mugs, oh, there's over 6,000 items. We also will put your name on t-shirts, polos, sweatshirts, anything that you need. Shopping bags, yes.
I thought so many of these things were done in Hong Kong or China or Japan. Is that still true?
Well, many of the packaging items are manufactured in China, and the promotional items may be manufactured outside of the country, but the logos are put on them here in the United States, most of them.
You know, I asked her earlier today, I said, you look so lovely. I said, did you go to the beauty parlor this morning? And she says, no, it's natural. I don't know what she does, but she looks great. I don't know.
Thank you.
I always like people who can kid along with me and make everybody so happy, as you do here.
Thank you. Yes, we enjoy what we do here.
Is there a long wait time to have these things done? Does it take months?
No, as far as the promotional items go, our turnaround time is very quick. Some things can be done as quickly as a couple of days, but most no more than 2 weeks.
Expensive?
No. We have a price range.
Somehow I knew you'd say that.
We have a price range from under $1 to
Under $1?
for certain items. And things, of course, are priced based on quantity and how many colors you need printed on them. So the prices do vary depending on the item and the quantities.
So the more you order, the less.
The less it is.
And colors too.
Yes, that's absolutely right.
I never knew that.
That's right.
How did you come up with this idea and creating something like this?
I believe we've always been very creative people, and so we wanted to make sure that as we were building our careers, we were able to be working with colors and textures and products that allowed us to use our creativity. So this was just a natural outlet.
And now it's a big business.
It is a big business, yes.
It's a wonderful thing to run because here in is this downtown Elmira?
This is in downtown Elmira.
Which has kind of been thought of as kind of a depressed area for a long time, and now it's coming back to life again.
It really is.
And with a smile like that, you have a lot to do with it.
Thank you. Well, with the revitalization of the downtown area, there's a lot coming, and it's going to be very exciting.
What are you going to do next?
What am I going to do next? I am going to look forward to meeting people who haven't heard about Image before and helping to support their businesses and their goals so that they can improve as well.
Does it take a lot to take something, say you have a client that comes in and it's a bank, and they decide they want to have shopping bags with the bank on it and other things at the bank. Do you come up with a logo? Do you create a logo too if they don't have one?
Absolutely.
Maybe it's a small business or a small bank that hasn't gotten the logo that the fancy big bank has.
And with your first order, the development of that logo is at no charge. So we will help people who don't have logos.
I must come and see you.
Yes. Yes, our graphic artist is very skilled.
That's a really wonderful thing to have put together. And your daughter helps you.
My daughter does help me, yes.
Goodness gracious, what did that mean? She just held up 10 fingers. What did that mean? Tell me.
We'll be celebrating our 25th anniversary.
Oh,
you're 20. See, we always find these things out.
We're celebrating our 25th anniversary.
Program.
We're very excited about it.
I thought you were about 20 years old and you're over 25.
Yes, I am over 25. Yes.
Well, I'm glad you gave us a little signal.
So we're going to be having a lot of exciting promotions in our 25th anniversary year, something new every month that we will be offering to help promote people's businesses and events.
Can I be part of this?
Absolutely.
Let me know about
it's exciting.
All the promotions.
I will.
I'll be back.
I'd like that.
This is a magic place. They have all kinds of things that you need. You may not know you need it, but you should see what this has. And you say, I could use that. What a promotion for my company. It's really a great place, and they're so nice, honest, and very, very talented. Like most of the people who work for what's our station number? WENY. I thought I'd get that in just to give them a little rib there. We have a lot of fun here.
Yeah, we do.
It's very informal.
Good.
And everybody at the station is very nice.
Wonderful.
Especially the crew that we have with us. We always say that because they really do all the work. And no matter how ridiculous we may look on camera, they switch it all around and make us look good.
Thank you.
So thank you all. We'll see you again.
Thank you.
Around Town with Henry Dormann will return in a moment.
Life, it never stops moving. Getting from here to there. Managing long hours at work. Juggling a busy home. You need a bank that keeps up. That's Chemung Canal Trust Company. Bank online. Bank with our mobile app. Deposit a check with your smartphone. Open an account at Chemung Canal and bank with us anywhere, anytime. Chemung Canal Trust Company. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Local news is important because you need to know what's going on in your community. You need to know the people that make decisions, what decisions they're making, because ultimately, you know, it could affect you tomorrow. The news today, you know, can have a big impact on the future. I call the Twin Tiers my home, and I've lived across the country, across the world, but something always drew me back to this area. It's very tight-knit, you know, there's family here. This is home.
Let's go! It's a big world, and now we're loving this town. It's our turn, so put your hands up. Don't be scared, take a chance. Come on, give me a hand. It's time to laugh, time to smile. Now let's get up and dance. Come on, everybody, let's live it up. Let it out if you can't get enough. This right here gonna make you jump, jump, jump. This is home. Hey, yeah. This is home.
We now return to Around Town with Henry Dormann.
Do we take you to crazy places? Nobody else would take you to the inside of a tattoo parlor, which is really a special tattoo parlor because this lady owns it. And she has a #1 right arm that's going to help us and explain to me what's good about piercing the ears, piercing the nose, and God knows what else. Anyway, would you introduce yourself?
My name is Dawn Stiehl.
And you are the proprietress.
I would be.
Now, how many tattoos and piercings do you have?
Piercings, I've had over 50 done. I still have approximately 30 pieces of jewelry in. Tattoos, I have one that's just not done yet.
And how about you?
Probably about 15 piercings done, not all of them in right now. And as far as tattoos, I couldn't tell you, just a lot of hours. I don't know about how many.
I'm sorry to ask you, I'm not really sorry to ask this, I'm curious, but tell me, with all of this piercing and all of the tattoos, do you get better dates?
I think so.
You do?
I think so.
You heard it here first. You have such a nice time here.
Yes, we do.
And you're right on the main thoroughfare. What's the address?
We are. This is 120 South Cayuga Street in Ithaca.
And it's a clean, nice, beautifully done tattoo parlor, but you don't call it a tattoo parlor.
No, we're a piercing and tattoo studio.
Studio?
Yes.
Does that mean you charge more?
No.
But
you just have to always remember that a good tattoo isn't cheap and a cheap tattoo isn't good.
This is a great place already. She's wonderful. She always like that?
Always.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And what do you do here?
Piercing.
You pierce?
Yep, head piercer.
And you have to do this with iodine or
To clean it, that's
disinfectant?
part of it, yep.
Yeah.
Yep, a bunch of cleaning stuff, bunch of prep.
And you supervise and collect the money?
Yes.
She is a hoot. It's worth coming here. What's the phone number in case they want to make an appointment?
256-7175.
Area code?
607.
Because
We are in the
different-
607.
Still.
We are.
Yeah. And how much, is this an expensive situation? What does it cost for a regular tattoo?
The shop minimum is $75, and it can range. People spend as little as $75, and some people spend hundreds to thousands of dollars.
Now tell me something. I want you to tell me this honestly and sincerely. What should I have pierced?
Anything you want.
Oh, that's no fair. we need to have better than that.
No, you have to have your own, you have to make your own decision. We don't make that decision for you. It has to be something that you want.
It's your own personality.
It sure is.
You have to look at yourself every day, you said.
Absolutely.
That's a very smart move. You have upstairs.
Yes, we do.
What's upstairs? Secret places? Tattoos.
That's where the tattoos take place.
Can you hear this? All right. That's where the tattoos take
That's
place.
where some of that magic happens, yes.
The magic happens.
Magic.
Is she good, huh? And what about the piercing?
The piercing all happens down here.
Down here? Where?
Yeah. That's where we
Two
take you
rooms
not
back there.
quite out back. Almost out back.
This is like a massage parlor. You have everything.
It used to be.
It did?
It used to be.
Oh. Are you going to do that again?
We have had massage therapists work out of here before.
Mhm.
We have had that. But
Because you've got a lot of space and it's so
it is.
cheerful.
But there's a lot of massage therapists in Ithaca with the school right
Are
here.
there?
It's 2 blocks that way.
Yep.
Yeah.
What hours are you open?
Tuesday through Saturday from noon until 8 p.m.
And not on Sunday?
No, not on Sunday.
No tattoos on Sunday?
Not here.
No.
Or Monday.
Is there a tattoo that's more happy than others?
Depends on what kind of design that you get.
She's always got the right. I have to ask you this because there must be, between the two of you, there must be some stories about people who have come in for tattoos or piercings that are really wild that you can talk about.
I know one you told me. The guy left and came back and had a little spill in that window.
She doesn't want to say.
Yeah, that one's...
Tell us another one. Tell us. There must be some really funny ones.
Oh, there's many. We could almost write a book.
Yeah.
Yes.
We could almost write a book.
Well, write part one.
We need the person to write for us.
Yeah, we'd have to talk and have
Give us a couple
down.
of talking stories. Fun things.
Pass
that happen.
routers.
Who?
Some people pass out.
They pass out?
Yeah. They get
Yeah.
a little
Woozy.
overzealous. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They think it's going to hurt way too much.
But it doesn't
and
hurt.
doesn't, and they
Doesn't
just
really. They
pass
must be
out.
disappointed then, huh?
No, some people. Some people.
Some
are a
people
little
thought,
disappointed,
yeah.
But other people, they're
Are
pretty
relieved.
happy. Yeah.
I saw on television somebody in the sport business, it must have been a boxer or something, that they shaved their heads and they had tattoos done on the scalp, and then they grew the hair back.
Yes, it does grow back.
I know that, but who would have thought of doing that? It's kind of a secret or piece of art.
I wouldn't know anybody that does something like that.
You know, she's very interesting because all she does when I ask these embarrassing questions is to smile. Is she
Well,
like
that one tattoo that I have that just isn't done yet, I am tattooed from head to toe.
Really?
Yes.
Can't see a thing.
No, not when I have my sleeves down or...
But very distinguished.
Yeah, well, thank you.
How did you get to do all these things at such a young age?
Oh, I've actually been doing this now for 24 years that I've been piercing.
I wouldn't think she was that old.
You wouldn't.
Half my life.
Really?
Half my life.
Are you
yes.
that? Really? I never ask a lady her age, but you certainly carry it well.
Well, I'm only 30 now.
So am I. How about
With
that?
20 years
There's room for us.
experience.
Still got you both beat.
We have a lot of fun.
We do.
Is there anything else people should know about tattooing or piercing that you haven't said yet? Little secrets.
Don't price shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look for good work and then save up and do it. Don't price shop.
Cheaper isn't better. You're
Yeah.
doing this to your body. Know where
He's
things
pretty-
are coming
pretty
from.
smart.
He is.
You keep them around.
That there's a good reason to keep him around.
And how many do you have here? How many piercers and how many tattooers?
3 people that do piercings and 4 people that do tattoos.
Really?
Yes.
Full time?
Yes.
That's amazing. There's hope for me, you think?
There is. You start with a little
You're
earlobe.
laughing. Why are you laughing?
You gonna get one today? Are you gonna get a piercing today?
What kind of a deal will you offer?
Well, if you want to do it for the show, let's see.
I can't accept anything for the show.
Well, then
I have to pay.
half price.
Half price.
Half price.
Boy. Nice to have met you, half
too, sir.
price.
Thank you so much,
I have to
Mr.
kiss your
Dormann.
hand because you're such a distinguished
Thank
lady.
you very much.
Thank you very much.
It was my pleasure.
Phone number again.
607-256-7175.
Website
steelsbodymod.com.
and prices and hours. Address.
Tuesday through Saturday from noon until 8 p.m.
And the
Closed
address?
Sundays, Mondays. 120 South Cayuga Street in Ithaca.
Now, with all of that, you ought to be able to get some really good tattoos and some really good piercings. Now, I have promised them that I'm going to be in one of the piercing rooms. So if you stop by here, look me up. I'll be in which room is it?
Number 2.
Room number, when am I number 2? I thought I was number 1. Number 2 anyway. I'll be there. Knock on the door and come and say hello. You'll be surprised at what things I'm going to do.
You're watching WENY HD.